Welcome back to animemaxpodcast. I am here with Stephen.
Hi, everyone.
Yeah. And we are going to do the 10th R&D. 10th.
Yeah, it's the 10th
I don't even know how many of these we've done anymore.
It's okay, because I didn't know the No Guns Live was the 10th episode.
Not even in a bad way. It's just, I'm not good with numbers. We took a really long break. We did different podcasts, so now I'm just like, oh God. I don't know what number we're on.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are episode 10 of Kabukichou Sherlock. Title of this episode is Now Hiring Psychics. It's okay.
Yeah, that is a weird title, but...
It's okay as a title. Well, let us just jump in.
All right.
So, the episode starts with Watson having a flashback to Irene, when she's bleeding out at the theater, because that's where he found her in the last episode.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. He found a bleeding person.
Yes, he did. He did find Irene in the...
Yeah, he found her. She was bleeding. Moriarty was there.
Yeah.
And then,
I remember that.
In the flashback, Irene just says Jack. And then Watson is pushed aside by, a medic.
Yeah.
And Watson is like, I wonder what she was trying to tell me. Fair question. And then in the key phrase from last episode, which was it cuts to.
Yes.
Miss Hudson, Mary and Lucy, Kobayashi, and Michael Belmont. All of Hypecat kind of reacting to Irene's death. And kind of being shocked in general. And oh, that was so sad. General murmurs of just oh, that was sad. It's upsetting. And you learn that Irene's body is being held by the East Side Police. And Jack was after her because of the USB drive, which they tell you, and it's yeah, obviously. But Miss Hudson is crying, which is really sad. Also, she's not dressed great.
Oh yeah, she's not dressed great in this episode.
She's dressed okay. I liked her hair.
Yeah, the hair was nice. But
didn't love her outfit.
No.
So, also that's a travesty.
She had the green hair, right?
Yeah, she has,
I think.
Kind of short green hair. I think it's short. She has green hair, though.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice green hair. Yeah.
Top of the outfit. So she's crying, and then she asks everyone to leave so that she can have time to, grieve. It is only at this point fucking Kobayashi realizes, oh, there's something worse than revenge porn on the drive.
Yeah, he said that. I wasn't sure if he was, because he's saying that the Mayor Moran's dick was on the flash drive. I was wondering if that was
They translated it differently. In Japanese, he just says oh, there's something worse than revenge porn.
Oh, because in the subtitles they said that it was Major. No, it's not Major. Mayor Moran's dick, and it's just they don't even react to that. They just react to what that. I mean, they completely ignore that, and Lucy mentions about Jack Ripper killing his daughter. It's okay, you're not gonna react to the fact that, oh my gosh, she said Mayor Moran's dick is on the flash drive.
Yeah,
it's something is wrong here. The translation is not right.
Yeah, it's weird. Because, the translation says something it's basically him, instead they replace, revenge porn with, a picture of the mayor's dick. And it's
yeah, that's what they said.
Also, it's okay, thanks for that image.
Yeah, thanks for that image.
Thanks for that.
It could have just been better to describe a revenge porn. Why you didn't say revenge porn?
Yeah, I don't understand that translation. It was very odd, and I was like, okay, we're just gonna move past this. Because yeah, like you said, they bring up that Jack killed Alexandra, who's Moreland's daughter, and they show you a picture of her. She looks a lot like Moriarty. They have the same eyes and the same bangs.
Yeah.
Which when I first saw that, I was like, interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting there.
No, but like as we all know, in anime, eyes and hair color are passed down. I don't know if that's always true, but like that's always what it looks like. I guess except for Psyche K. He has pink hair. So you learn that about Moreland's daughter. Michael says that obviously the mayor had Jack info before the daughter was killed. Because I think it's Lucy or Mary and Lucy. I'm just going to refer to them as one person. They were like, Jack killed the daughter and then the mayor got all this information. And Michael's like, oh no, he had to have the information before Jack killed the daughter. Kobayashi is just generally confused in the background.
Yeah.
Which, like, fair.
I mean, it's Kobayashi.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's Kobayashi, not exactly, like, the height of, like, the brain power.
Yes.
But I also support him all the time. So, that's also... Ever since that episode that we learned about him, and that guy wrote that manga about him, I want to support him.
He just has a good heart. That's it. He's not that bright.
Yeah, he's dude that I would want on my team in a fight, but like might not want on my team in like the zombie apocalypse. He's not on my zombie apocalypse team. But he's still a good dude. So after you see Kobayashi in just like general confusion, you get to see Sherlock, who swears to catch Irene's killer. And there's this kind of adorable short little scene where like Watson asks him how long it's been since he's eaten. He offers to make him food, offers to add canned peaches. As you do. And then there's like a noise outside, and Watson opens the door, and no one is there. But he notes that it smells like rose.
Oh, and
then Sherlock kicks him out, like very literally, and tells him that he needs time alone. And Watson leaves. And then it shows you Watson being suspicious of Moriarty.
Yes.
Just kind of in like general flashbacks. And then it shows those kids throwing a toy around. And it's the bottom half of the like lantern toy.
Yeah.
The Kabukichou little lantern mascot.
Yeah, Kabukichou toy, I think.
And the kids have decided that they're going to use Watson to get the head for the toy, which they lost in an abandoned building.
Yeah.
So they go, it's like an abandoned hotel. Watson, just adorable, gullible, sad man, goes to look for the head on the second floor. It's like generally creepy, atmospheric. He finds the head and sees a ghost.
Yes. This part was just so funny.
And he runs out screaming. And assumedly runs for a while. Because he looks, when he sits down on a bench, nowhere near the hotel. Or the kids. And then Moriarty kind of comes out of nowhere and startles him. And Moriarty asks him if he's seen a ghost. And Watson's like, oh, no way. And then he's like, I'm gonna go get a drink. Which, like, fair. If I saw a ghost, probably one of the first or second things I would do is be like, yeah, I need a drink. So, like, fair. I get it.
Yeah, I would need a drink too.
Right? I mean, who wouldn't?
I just feel so sorry for Watson because, like, he's like so nervous in walking into that abandoned hotel.
Yeah, no, that man has played Resident Evil. That man has played some like horror games.
The way his mannerism is just funny. It's just like always nervous and
yeah, Watson he's one of the best characters in this.
So shy about everything.
Oh, Watson. He's best boy.
Yeah, he's in to get a drink. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes to get a drink at Pipe Cat because apparently there's no other bar in the world.
Yes.
There's like no other bar to go to with like. Fair.
Well, if you had a bar that you usually know everyone in, you usually go there just to get a drink. I think
that's true. Also, that's where they all go.
Yeah.
So Watson's at Pipe Cat drinking because he just saw a ghost. So like fair. And Kyogoku shows up, and he says that he and Maki went to the end of the world. He's being a super weirdo.
What does he mean by end of the world?
See, this is why I'm like, I think they had sex in the last episode. Or he thinks that they did, at least.
Yeah.
Like, that's obviously what he thinks has happened.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of drops this really nice knowledge that he basically says that you can't bring people back, and there's no use in regretting that you can't bring people back. The best thing we can do is carry on. He says, like, the war in their stead, and it's just this, like, nice little moment where he's basically like, yeah, you can't sit around and regret not being able to save someone. The best thing you can do is kind of like carry on in their stead.
Yeah.
After dropping this very nice, like, kind of philosophical little thing, he then screams that he's going to catch Jack, get the reward and the fame, and then move to the west side and marry Maki there. And that he and her are going to live the happy life that Irene can no longer live.
That sounds very off-putting.
Yeah, so dope. He's going to apparently do that. And then that's where that scene ends, because he's just now been a super weirdo.
Yeah.
But then Watson is asleep, and he gets woken up by Irene's ghost. And her ghost says that Moriarty is the one who, and then it like cuts off. And then goes on to say, at this rate, Sherlock will, and then that also cuts off. And then the ghost disappears.
Yeah.
And then it shows Watson like actually waking up, like in the morning times. And you see Moriarty is there, and he's asking if Sherlock is still kind of like sad, and says like, oh, we can play Rakugo poker, and Sherlock says no, which is suspicious.
Yeah.
Because Sherlock loves Rakugo. I don't know what Rakugo poker is, but it has Rakugo in it. So
I don't know what that. I was wondering what he meant by that.
I don't think it's super relevant.
Yeah.
But it shows you Watson just generally being suspicious of Moriarty. And Moriarty asks Sherlock where he hid the USB. He says, like, oh, I'm worried about it because, like, Jack's already been in here once. And he says, oh, I can hang on to it. And Watson just yells no.
Yeah, he yells at him.
Yeah, he yells at him no. There's, like, an awkward silence. And then there's a knocking at the door. And Watson opens it and there's no one there. And then Mycroft just kind of like slides into frame and Watson screams, as you do.
Yeah.
And then it's beautiful because Mycroft is like basically like, hey, it's rude to scream when you see someone.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, it's rude. And then Sherlock is like hiding under the table from Mycroft. But then Watson and Moriarty leave and it's just like Mycroft and Sherlock and they're talking. And Mycroft gives you the information that Irene's autopsy is going to be at Shinjuku Medical Hospital on the west side. And Mycroft says that he's telling Sherlock because he thinks Sherlock might be, like, sad that someone else is going to mess with Irene's body. And that, like, Moreland gave the autopsy order and he, like, offers to help Sherlock.
Mm-hmm.
He also reveals that he knows that the drive is a dummy drive. But that he has basically kind of lied to Moreland and said that they're still working on recovering data.
You know, I kind of figured that was the case.
Yeah, I do love
the early episodes. I was like, I think he honestly knew it was a dummy drive, and he just is going to end up lying to the mayor.
Which is like fair. The mayor's a weird dude.
Yeah, because that's his. I mean, I think he would do it for his brother. I don't think it makes you think back. Oh God.
That was so long ago, too.
No, because Richard didn't believe that he actually would do that for his brother. I remember
he
that.
said sibling rivalry.
Yeah. Oh, God.
And I was like, oh. Mycroft has always helped Sherlock. That's always been, like, a weirdly huge part of his character, if I'm remembering
They
correctly.
obviously didn't have any brother rivalry, but whatever.
Yeah. Oh, well. In the spirit of this exchange, Sherlock says that Mycroft cannot have the drive, but once he has the password, he'll share the information with Mycroft. He also tells Mycroft that to tell Moreland that Irene's body and belongings have already been incinerated.
Yeah.
So, like, interesting. And then Watson appears again. You know. And he kind of tells you his weird little case again, kind of, because Sherlock is like, oh, you used to work at Shinjuku Medical.
Yeah. I thought that was an interesting backstory. Go ahead.
Oh, no, and it's like kind of this flashback where it's like, oh, Watson did the autopsy. So the autopsy that they showed you him doing before was on Alexandra, and he found like a sticker in her hair, but then Kaneko told him it's actually a mini transmitter. And then Watson told his boss, and then people started trying to kill him, and it shows you like the same scenes that you've seen in the past of a car trying to run him over, a building on fire. You know, classic ways to, I guess, try and get rid of someone who knows too much. And then it's the thing again where they tell you, like, yeah, that's what caused Watson to come to the east side. Was to save his own life.
Yeah, no, I think because Moran told him to look for Sherlock to see if he knows about the transmitter.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's, yeah. Because then he comes looking, originally he's looking for Sherlock to take his case.
Yeah.
But it shows you Sherlock kind of, you hear him kind of just talking in the background. Almost in a, like, weird small Rakugo moment. And Watson notices that the fridge is open. And so he goes to, like, close it. And you see it kind of, like, leaking. And he notices a can of half-eaten peaches. And then Sherlock tells him not to touch it. And then kicks him out.
Yeah, again.
As you do.
You know,
Poor man.
This scene was kind of weird because it's just weird because after the flashback was finished showing what it was showing, yeah, when he was finishing describing the the flashback, it's just weird how Sherlock is talking and all of a sudden Watson decides to just go to the fridge. I mean, it's kind of weird.
Well, it's because he noticed that it's open.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
like
why.
the fridge door is open, and then when he gets over there to close it, it's like leaking.
I did not notice that the fridge is open. I just thought he just magically decided to go to the fridge.
No, it's like open a little bit and he notices that and then he's like going to close it. Then it's like leaking. And that's what causes him to like look in it more. And that's when he sees like that the can is like half open because he's like confused. He's like, oh, there's a can of half-eaten peaches. And then Sherlock is like, don't touch that.
Okay, now the scene makes more sense to me.
Get out.
Oh, God.
But it cuts to Watson outside as a stray old man that lives in the area.
Yeah.
And the kids see him and they ask him why he didn't get the toy last time. He does not answer them, but he sees Yoshio and he asks Yoshio about his accident. And Yoshio says, oh, there was no accident. His family was on a trip and they got back like this morning. And that they won a trip to like some city through a raffle. Irrelevant. But the big thing is he has a flashback to Moriarty saying when he was on the phone and said, oh, Yoshio was in an accident. I have to leave. And then him running away.
Yeah.
When they were all arguing about, oh, who's going to the Rococo performance. And then Watson is walking down an alley, which seems to happen a lot in this, like the end part of this episode.
You know, a lot of things repeat in this episode, I noticed.
Yeah, that they're all just like in alleys constantly.
Not just that. Watson always bumps into the kids.
Oh no, the kids. Those kids, they're everywhere. They're a plot device now.
And Watson keeps running into Moriarty and getting flashbacks constantly.
Oh, Moriarty.
So yeah, this episode repeats a lot.
Moriarty. Oh, it kind of does. It's because you got to bring it all together.
Yeah.
But Watson is walking down an alley, and one of the many scenes is going to take place in an alley. And he smells roses, and then he hears Irene's voice, and it is just repeating, "Stop, Moriarty." So super normal.
Oh, yeah.
Super, super normal. And then it cuts to a scene of Watson and Moriarty in, I don't know what to call it, so I called it the case delivery room. I just truly don't know what else to call it. The only thing other thing I could think to call it was the room with a fancy picture of Miss Hudson.
Oh.
I mean, both are true. But they're in that room, and Watson asks Moriarty if he's Jack. And Moriarty's like, yeah, no. And
yeah, he laughs at him.
Yeah, and then goes to leave the room. And Watson follows him out. And Lucy and Mary and Miss Hudson and Kyogoku and Maki are out there. And he tells them all that he thinks that Moriarty is Jack the Ripper. And Mary laughs at Watson. Miss Hudson says, oh no. Like, that's not possible. Lucy says, you need to get some sleep. Only Fuyuto says yes. So Kyogoku's like, I agree with the man called Watson. Also super weird. And then Maki says, if he believes in it, I believe in it. Super weird scene. Everyone's kind of mean to Watson.
Poor Watson.
Poor man. But then Moriarty leaves. He just deuces out. while Kyogoku and Maki are kind of being weird.
Yeah.
They're like talking in the background. It's like, oh, thank you for believing in me. Ugh. Gross. But then you see Sherlock leaving the police station. And Moriarty looking suspicious and following him. And Moriarty follows Sherlock into an alleyway. Because everything happens in alleyways. He pulls out a knife. And Watson, who is following Moriarty, runs after him. And then runs into Sherlock. And Sherlock says that Moriarty can't be Jack the Ripper. He says Moriarty can be trusted. He told Moriarty that that's where Irene was going to be. And he like heavily implies that Watson is tied to Jack the Ripper. He also says he never wants to see him again, and Sherlock leaves Watson in that alley. I feel really bad for Watson in this episode.
Yes, I do, because...
That poor man.
They really do make you think in this episode that Moriarty is Jack the Ripper. And it kind of makes you feel bad that, that Watson is the only one that's seen it and no one else is.
It's because Watson is the voice of the audience.
Yes.
There's one more scene. Not a super believable scene, but it's what we're apparently going to end on. Which is Kyogoku and Watson are at the bar. Kyogoku is looking at a catalog of retirement homes, like a weirdo. And he says that he can get the data off the drive and prove that Moriarty is Jack, that Watson just needs to give him the drive. Also, Kyogoku is not wearing gloves or a tie, which weirded me out.
Oh. I didn't notice that. I didn't really
he's not wearing his gloves or his bow tie thing.
Oh.
Which weirded me out. Because he's always wearing them.
Yeah, he is always wearing that.
He's always wearing them. Or at least he always has his shirt buttoned up to the top. And he does not. And he's not wearing gloves. And it's freaky.
Oh, yeah, he's wearing a casual... I would say a casual suit.
I don't even know if it's casual or it's more just his is the shirt is now open.
Yeah, the shirt was open and
he's not wearing gloves. It's weird.
Yeah.
Made me uncomfortable.
He really didn't care about the suit that he was wearing. He just had it.
Which is weird.
It wasn't dressed up. It was just whatever.
He's a weirdo.
What?
But he tells Watson that he can get the drive cracked. And Watson seems iffy about it. And he's I don't know. Are you really sure? And then Kyogoku asks Watson if he's gonna let another friend die. Which kind of kicks Watson into gear. And Watson sneaks into Sherlock's apartment and steals the drive, which was in a bag in the can of peaches. And then it shows you Watson bringing Kyogoku the drive. And Kyogoku's waiting in an alleyway. Because all important things in this episode happen in alleyways.
Yes, for some reason, if you walk into alleys in this
I do know there are a lot more alleys. I mean, even in certain cities in America, there's more alleyways.
Yeah,
tall buildings there.
I just don't... I'm not sure people nowadays will actually walk into an alley casually, just walk in there, not worrying about worrying about the danger that can happen in an alley.
That's fair. But in the last beautiful scene, Kyogoku attacks Watson for the drive. He pulls a knife on him and tackles him.
Thought that was weird, but that's Kyogoku.
And then, so Kyogoku tackles him, and the drive falls out of Watson's hands. And then, like, the camera pans up, and Sherlock and Moriarty are standing there. And that's where it ends.
Yes.
Which, like, is an unfortunate end, because I'm like, there's not a lot to say about it then.
Well, I do like that Kyogoku was being the moral support for Watson.
Aww.
It makes me think differently about his character.
He is a good dude.
Yeah.
They are friends, and he supports him.
Yeah, and that's why I did like on this episode. They really support him a lot.
That's adorable. I like their friendship.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's this episode that repeat a lot. Like, they were just repeating the same scenes over and over. Like, the same scenarios over and over. Yeah.
I think it's because it's the next episode is the one. Right?
Yeah, that's what they were trying to do. This is just like a delay episode. Like, it was trying to be a filler for the...
I don't know if it was
episode.
filler, though. It was like,
it was not.
We're going to feed you all this information and kind of recap you on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But also kind of reinforce these ideas that, like, Watson is being treated like the crazy one.
Yeah. It was just messed up because any killer would do that. Like, try to pretend that they're not the killer and just, like, laugh it off to their friends, saying, it's not obviously me, right?
Right.
I feel like anyone would do that. As I kind of feel bad for Watson because no one believes him because they think he's just fooling himself.
Oh, Watson. I support him so much. I root for Watson.
Yeah.
Just like in this show as a whole.
Yeah.
I root for him. I support him. I want to talk about stuff, but I can't talk about anything without it.
Well, I kind of did spoil for No Guns Life. I did say, like...
I don't want to, though, because the reveal is so good.
Okay, so we won't spoil it.
Like, it's so good. I will say, I went back and watched all the other episodes.
Yeah.
I still cannot find proof that what's going to happen is happening.
Oh.
And it slightly irritates me.
I think they did that on purpose. I don't know.
No, I think it was definitely done on purpose so that you can get that real shock factor of like, oh my god, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I also just don't like that in detective shows.
And I also remember I did watch all these episodes in one sitting. That's why it's kind of hard for me just to...
Oh, yeah.
To have that much to discuss.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, this is hard. It would have been better if I hadn't watched ahead, because I would have been like, oh, who is the killer? Or who is the murderer? I want Mycroft to come back, though. We can talk about that. I like Mycroft.
I know I spelled his name wrong on the
That's fine.
Notes. It was like, how do I spell his name? I was like, oh, fuck it.
Also,
Just
as long as
anything.
you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I love Mycroft.
I could just put Microsoft.
That's fair. Oh, Mycroft. Mycroft is also such a good dude.
Yeah, he covered for his brother.
Oh, Mycroft.
It's like, now I figured that it's no wonder Mariah knows who Sherlock is, because he knows Minecraft.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
Aw. Mycroft.
Well, at least you get to know what was the reason, what was Watson's case. He was trying to figure out the killer of Alexandria. So,
Well, I mean, like an actual name, because I was gonna say, I mean, didn't they already always knew it was Jack the Ripper? I mean,
I'm not
they didn't
sure
know who Jack the Ripper was, but like everyone knows that that Alexandra was killed by Jack the Ripper.
Oh.
Because when Lucy, I think it's Lucy that brings it up at the beginning, she pulls up like on her phone an article about it.
Okay.
That talks about like Jack, and they've said in the past that like Jack the Ripper's last victim was Moreland's daughter. I think just like the last time they said that it was Moreland's daughter, you didn't know that Watson had done the autopsy on her.
Yeah.
And you didn't know her name. It's an interesting way to reveal information. I don't know what else to say. Is there anything else to say about this episode without at all spoiling the next episode?
I don't know.
Plus, I'm like, what can we say?
I don't know. It's just weird. It's just...
Yeah, I'm like, there's not much to say.
Those goddamn kids.
You do not like those kids.
Because they're so rude.
But yeah, I think it's like, oh, they're rude. That's why I don't like them.
And they're casually okay with being rude. And no one's concerned about them being rude. It's like they're perfectly fine. They're okay to be rude. Because they're just children.
I was gonna say no one really watches over them, but I guess Moriarty watches over them.
Yeah, I think Moriarty is, but he's not the greatest example of watching over children.
They do call him boss.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I like the kids. I think they're funny.
They are kind of funny.
And I think it's like, I find them funny because a lot of times they're like used as a plot device.
Yeah.
It's like, I like when they take that picture of Watson when he's eating like cup noodles. And they're just like, oh, we're making a database of stray old men that live in the area. I don't know. I like them.
It's okay. You can like them.
They're weird. They're odd little kids.
So I guess I give this episode 8 because I actually enjoyed this more than the No Guns Life one.
Yeah, I did like this episode, even though it doesn't seem like it because I don't have a lot to say about it. I did like it. I liked it more than No Guns Life.
You know, I was thinking that when this episode was on, I was thinking that Watson was a medium. That he had actually saw Irene's ghost.
That he's a psychic?
Yeah, that's why they named it psychics. Now I get it.
Calling all psychics. Watson.
I thought they were actually going to talk about him being a psychic, like a person who could actually see ghosts.
Well, they also make it sound like, oh, he might be hallucinating.
Oh, I was thinking he was actually seeing Irene's ghost when I was watching this episode.
I mean, I thought they made it kind of sound like he was hallucinating because, like, yeah, he sees it in the hotel, but when he sees the ghost when he's asleep, the fact that it's like they show it as like, oh, he wakes up, sees the ghost, and then like wakes up again. I'm like, oh, so did he like have a dream where he saw the ghost? And then Lucy tells him that he needs to get sleep.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. There's not a lot more to this episode, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I guess you could just...
Yeah, I guess we're just going to end it here, because, I mean, like, without being like, ooh, here's what happens in the next episode.
Yeah.
The next episode's going to be... It's going to be a banger.
Yeah.
I have so many thoughts. And opinions. And feelings. Emotions.
Yeah, I think we just end it here then.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like... I was trying to think of if there's like anything else that I was like, oh, I need to talk about this. Oh, I do. As a side thing though, I do just love how confused Kobayashi was at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Like it was very hard for him to process what was happening.
It usually is gonna be him for like that, I think.
Oh, Kobayashi. Well, on that note, thank you so much for listening. Like or subscribe to us on whatever you listen to podcasts on. We have a Twitter. I'm going to be really confident and say that it's animemaxpodcast.
Or we could just put the link in the description.
That's also true.
Yeah.
I think it is animemaxpodcast, though. That sounds right. We'll find out. But we will definitely do the next episode.
Yeah.
Because we both have a lot of thoughts. Obviously. We're trying really hard not to spoil it.
Yeah.
So hard. Well, thank you again for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening.
Yeah.
So,
bye.
see you guys later. Bye.